Has it ever happened that you feel something in your life isn't right, and you want to change it, but you don't know what? Neo is in the same place. A regular guy, tired of the routine and monotony, until one day the phone rings. Morpheus is on the line.
Morpheus says, "Maybe you've been looking for me for a few years, but I have been looking for you my whole life."
Who is Morpheus? In psychology, we have divided our psyche into different parts. Eric Berne's Transactional Analysis psychology says that we have an inner child, an adult, and an inner parent. Morpheus is that mature part of us that waits for us to find and use it. And that's when our perspective on life changes. Morpheus is that mature part of us that tells us there is a way. Neo is actually us, thinking that something is wrong and searching for the truth. What distinguishes Morpheus from the rest of the people in the group who want to save Neo? If we remember when Neo gets into the car, Switch points a gun at him and tries to convince him with authority either to stay or leave and not ask questions. In fact, Neo is someone who wants to gain awareness and asks questions. So, what is the difference between Morpheus and Switch? Morpheus has a lot of respect for Neo. He answers her questions. He tells her the truth. So, it gives us just one lesson. If we want to have a healthy relationship with someone else, if we inform them and give them reasons and show respect, they will accept it. In this scene, Neo wants to get out, and it's Trinity who tells him to stay and reassures him. And that's when, out of respect, Neo doesn't get out of the car and continues on the path. Here we see a continuity in Neo's character. In fact, before Neo is actually invited to take the red pill, he has taken the red pill many times. At the beginning of the movie, we see that he read a philosophical book. And not only that he reads philosophical books, but he also makes a hole in the book and puts his tools inside it. This means he has gone beyond the concept. Faced with being on time for work, at night goes to a party in search of truth, and in the morning goes to work late. Then, in the interrogation room, where the system asks him to cooperate, he does not cooperate with them. Even here, when faced with a gun, he wants to get off. So he is someone who seeks awareness, and is not someone we want to enlighten with force and weapons. In the scene where Neo wants to go see Morpheus, we see him going up dark, spiral stairs, which shows that he is moving towards awareness and has gone through a difficult path. Again, Neo is not afraid of this difficult path. When he goes to Morpheus and sits down, if we consider his body posture, he has a dominant stance relative to his position. After entering the place where Morpheus wants to see him and he takes the red pill and chooses to become aware, something happens. In a beautifully crafted scene, we see a broken mirror, and Neo sees himself shattered. But now he is moving towards awareness, and the mirror is restored. Neo's image becomes complete. In fact, in Iranian mysticism, Nizami of the 12th century says that breaking oneself is like breaking a mirror, and it's a mistake. It means that when we face a problem in society, criticizing that individual or society is wrong. We need to correct ourselves. And after we correct ourselves, we see that we have no problem with that person, or we are at peace with society. In the scene where Neo wakes up and sees a sea of people who are there in the form of himself in a cage, he reaches a high level of understanding there where, if you remember, Morpheus says there are things that can't be said and need to be understood and seen by oneself. This means that when Neo sees this scene, he reaches awareness and understanding. And in that scene, when the machine realizes that Neo has awakened, in fact, Neo becomes a waste. When it approaches, we see in a very beautiful shot that it sees Neo as small. It doesn't see his face, and even when it stands in front of him and grabs him with a threat, it still sees him from behind the machine's lens and doesn't recognize his human identity. So it doesn't matter to it what happens to Neo, and it only cares that when he is awake, it doesn't feed him anymore. It can no longer sell its dreams to Neo. So Neo becomes a waste. When the system determines Neo's death, in the modern system, Neo falls into a place similar to a simulated womb. If we take a look, he himself doesn't have hair and looks like a newborn. Very beautiful scene. Design has been done and we see the light and we see hands that are robotic and pull Neo out of there. And this actually simulates the birth of a newborn here. As long as Neo was in the machine system and had a controlled and conflict-free world, when he comes out, he faces his real conflicts. This is an example of my life, that when we are born, we exit that mother's womb and that initial paradise. And now we need to face hunger, fear, and truth. In one of the scenes, Neo says that his eyes are burning, and Morpheus says something beautiful. He says it's because they have never been used before. This again refers to the fact that Neo has become aware and his eyes are seeing the truth. He can distinguish between illusion and reality. And this awareness, because it is just happening, comes with pain. This is not just Neo's world, it's our world too. As long as we are trapped among algorithms that we allow to control us by phones, by governments, we are just consumers for them. And we become aware and they can't sell their products to us, we are no longer useful to them. In fact, the Matrix is the sweet dream of the modern world. And when we wake up and see ourselves in the mirror and Morpheus calls my name and I answer him, and every time we feel pain, we take that red pill. And every time we run away and move towards comfort, it's the blue pill we use. Please subscribe. Please like and share this with your friends. We are just at the beginning of the journey and need your support.